If your scalp is itchy, flaky, or gunky at the roots, there are only 3 real causes 90% of the time: buildup, dandruff, or seborrheic dermatitis. If you treat the wrong one, you may make your scalp worse, you definitely waste money and time, and you can even increase breakage because irritation makes you scratch your scalp more and overhandle your hair. In this video, you're going to learn the fast at-home test to sort yourself into the right bucket, and then you'll also learn the exact fix for each one of these, including when to clarify, when to use salicylic acid, and when to use an antifungal shampoo. And near the end of the video, we'll discuss why washing your hair more often makes flakes worse and not better. I'm a biomedical scientist, and my lane is mechanisms and routines that work in real life, especially for natural hair where aggressive scalp routines spill into fiber damage. Here's what we can do at home to start sorting ourselves into what bucket we belong to. First, look at the scales before you wash your hair. Dry, powdery white flakes that dust off lean towards dandruff, but greasy, yellowish, stuck down scales with redness on the scalp leans towards seborrheic dermatitis. But a tiny, tacky paste-like layer at the roots of the hair, especially where you apply products to your hair, leans towards buildup. Having someone look at the scalp for you or taking photos can really help so that we see exactly what we're dealing with. Second, test the water response. Wet your hair, wet your scalp, and watch what happens. If the layer softens and smears like grease, right, that leads again towards seborrheic dermatitis. But if the flakes are able to lift off as you're washing or rinsing your hair, that leans towards dandruff. But if you get a tacky smear that feels like product residue, right, rather than scales on the scalp, that leans towards buildup. Third, we want to test the cleanse response. Wash your scalp with your regular cleanser. If your scalp still feels coated and your roots still feel sticky and your hair tangles faster at the base after drying your hair, you likely did not remove a film layer that's sitting there, and you're likely in buildup land. However, if your scalp feels clean but flaking returns quickly with itch, we're likely in dandruff or seborrheic dermatitis land. Fourth, check where this is happening on the scalp. Seborrheic dermatitis often clusters around the hairline, behind the ears, right, the crown, and sometimes the eyebrows if you are prone. But buildup clusters where products are applied, where you are applying the products. Dandruff can be more diffuse. Look, this is not a diagnosis. I'm not telling you what is wrong with you. This is a sorting tool based on the research I've done so that we can stop throwing random products at our problems, and so we know exactly what to say to the doctor when we do see a doctor. Now, what causes flakes on the scalp? 3 main buckets. Same symptom family, right? Very similar, but different causes and different cure. Number 1 is buildup. Buildup is mainly a film problem. Styling polymers from gels, from edge control, from sprays, hairsprays, and mousses, and heavy oils, and waxes, and butters, and grease, and all the things that we like, right? Repeatedly spritzing and refreshing our hair can form a layer at the roots that becomes noticeable when you layer products for about a week or so, but do not cleanse enough or cleanse properly or rinse properly. Or we use heavy stylers and do not do a reset wash, like a clarifying wash. So the problem is that the film traps sebum, it traps dead skin cells, environmental particles. It feels tacky and coated or even gunky, making the roots feel dirty, even after washing your hair, and making the hair feel dull and draggy at the base, and detangling gets harder and harder because residue increases friction. Unfortunately, hard water amplifies this. We have a hard water video coming up soon, but hard water contains calcium and magnesium. These minerals can deposit onto the hair and interact with soap and other products, creating a sticky residue layer on the hair, and especially here at the roots. Number 2 is dandruff, and dandruff is mostly a scale problem without strong visible inflammation. You see white flakes, maybe mild itch, but you do not see an angry red greasy scalp. A key player here is malassezia, a yeast that lives on most scalps. When we get dandruff, the scalp balance shifts and scale increases. The mistake here is treating the scales like dirt. This is not a cleanliness problem. It is a scalp and microbiome balance problem. That's what it is, and we'll discuss treatment options later in the video. But moving on to number 3, which is seborrheic dermatitis. This is dandruff's inflamed, angry cousin. There is redness, there's irritation on the scalp, there's greasiness, there is yellowish scale that can look stuck down to the scalp, more intense itching or burning. Malassezia is still involved, but the scalp is reacting with inflammation. That's the problem. One widely discussed mechanism in the literature is that Malassezia yeast can break down sebum components and then create irritating metabolites like free fatty acids, which can drive inflammation in susceptible scalps. This is why seborrheic dermatitis often flares, settles, and then rebounds. If you only scrub your scalp or you only moisturize your scalp instead of treating the driver, a rebound is going to happen. Your scalp is an ecosystem. It's not just a blank surface like the countertop. There's lots of things going on there. It is slightly acidic, around pH of 5, and with that acidic environment supports the barrier and keeps microbes in balance. We want that. Your scalp naturally hosts bacteria, tons of them, like Staphylococcus epidermidis and Cutibacteria acnes and fungi like Malassezia. The goal is balance. It is not sterilizing our whole heads completely. We want the bacteria there, but we want them happy. When the barrier is stable, the microbiome becomes calmer and our scalp is calmer. But when we strip and irritate the barrier from too much washing and too much clarifying and detoxing, the microbiome can shift and symptoms can rise. pH is one of the simplest ways to understand this. When the pH of the scalp drifts upwards, the barrier becomes easier to sensitize or to irritate or to even make inflammation easy to trigger. So if we keep scrubbing our scalps harder and with harsher cleansers and scalp detox products, we can often create the perfect conditions for a reactive scalp that flakes more and more. And that is a loop we're trying to avoid. So here is a quick summary before we move on. Buildup is a film layer problem. Dandruff is a dry scalp problem without any major redness or greasiness. Seborrheic dermatitis is scales plus inflammation, often greasy, often red, often more intense itch. Film production needs film removal. Scale problems need scale management. And then inflamed scalp problems need antifungal treatments plus inflammation treatments. We want to treat the problem we have. If you are in buildup land, please clarify your hair. Clarifying is about removing films from the hair, styling polymers, heavy residues and buildup, and mineral-related coating. The goal is not heavy, harsh cleansing every wash day. No, the goal is effective reset, so we can then return to gentle maintenance and have this reset every so often. So please look for a good deep cleansing shampoo that actually removes film. Some anionic detergents are excellent at stripping polymer films and residues, but if hard water is part of the issue, chelators can help. Chelating agents bind to calcium and to magnesium so that they can rinse away with the water instead of staying on the hair or the scalp even as residue. So if we use a lot of gels, especially non-botanical gels, if we use edge control, heavy stylers or routines require heaps of hairspray, or we go long between washes, a periodic reset wash is rational. Reset, then go back to your wash day, then reset periodically so that we do not keep the scalp reactive or strip the hair too badly. But if you are in dandruff land, exfoliation or clarifying alone are not enough. We need to reduce Malassezia yeast activity and manage the scales that we see. This is where medicated anti-dandruff actives come into play. Ketoconazole, selenium sulfide, and zinc pyrithione are very common antifungal approaches used to treat dandruff. In stubborn or inflamed cases, a dermatologist may even add topical corticosteroids briefly or any other prescription anti-inflammatories to calm the skin down. Salicylic acid is a keratolytic, meaning it loosens up the glue between the dead skin cells so that the scales lift and wash more easily. Salicylic acid is useful when scales are stubborn because clearing scale, removing the scale, also allows the medication to reach the skin, to reach the scalp. But salicylic acid alone does not reliably solve dandruff or resolve dandruff if the driver is fungal imbalance. So if we are in seborrheic dermatitis land, please treat it as inflammatory, not as a dirty scalp. Your scalp is not dirty, it's just inflamed. We will still need the antifungal control, right? But we need to respect the barrier of our scalp, and we need to reduce inflammation. This is the group that rebounds the hardest when we scrub and scrub with harsher shampoos more often. So here's something to consider. Please use a medicated shampoo in an active phase and then taper to maintenance. If we've got intense itching, we've got burning sensation, widespread redness, weeping, cracking, or the problem is not improving, please see a doctor, because this is a skin condition. Matter of fact, with every skin condition, let's just go see a doctor, please. Now let's address the one thing that keeps many of us stuck. Washing our hair and scrubbing our hair harder and harder feels like we're doing something. But if your flakes are coming from dandruff or from seborrheic dermatitis, harsh washing would just strip the barrier of the scalp and shift the pH upwards and keep the scalp reactive, and then make symptoms worse, and then we think we need to wash more and more and more. Then we buy the soothing oils and the butters that can trap residue that then disturbs the balance of the scalp, causes buildup, and the cycle continues. We want to avoid that cycle completely. So instead of washing your hair harder, please wash it smarter. Clarify when there is foam present, right? Use a medicated antifungal shampoo or active when scale is a problem. Use salicylic acid when scales are thick and stuck to the scalp. And please see a doctor. Now the maintenance plan, because rebounds are quite common. Build a 2-lane wash system. A maintenance cleanser for most wash days so that the scalp stays clean without feeling too stripped, and a reset cleanser used only periodically or when buildup is evident. If you're prone to dandruff or seborrheic dermatitis, think in phases. Treat phase with medicated shampoo on schedule, and then maintenance phase for once weekly or as needed. Please do not stop your treatment once the symptoms appear to improve. Otherwise, there may be rebounds. When washing the scalp, consider using your finger pads, not your nails, regular pressure, back and forth motion, and no nails. And then consider wearing short styles during flare-ups, because when the scalp itches, we scratch our hair more, we touch our hair more, manipulate our hair more. So part of scalp care is choosing simple styles that can be taken down for a wash when flare-ups erupt, and styles that reduce handling until the flare settles, or at least until it is understood and diagnosed by your doctor. Now here's the uncomfortable truth. Regular vigorous scrubbing to treat our scalp conditions creates wet abrasion for the hair. It also irritates the scalp barrier, and with natural hair, this increases tangling, it increases roughness, it increases dryness at the roots, which then unfortunately increases detangling force, and that increases breakage, especially when using medicated shampoos containing actives that can dry our hair out. So here are my thoughts on how to somehow get the best of both worlds. First is to pre-protect the lengths of the hair before water hits it. Apply a cheap conditioner or some oil to the lengths of the hair as a pre-wash, right? So that we protect the hair from the harsh shampoos we're using. Second, apply your medicated shampoo like it is a scalp treatment, because it is. Only a tiny amount and only to the scalp, right? Perhaps apply a small amount. Perhaps use a bottle with a nozzle so application is a lot more concentrated on the scalp. Perhaps do it outside the shower so that you can see exactly where the medication is going to, and wash your scalp back and forth, small motion, regular pressure, no nails, no circles, back and forth. The aim of all of this is to remove buildup and to remove scales without causing too much wet abrasion to our hair, without turning the roots of our hair or the lengths of our hair into a knot factory. Number 3, rinse thoroughly. When rinsing the medicated shampoo, let the lather run down the lengths of the hair. Right? It already has some conditioner on it that can do some cleansing. But if we have naturally dry hair like mine, hold the hair up and rinse the scalp without letting the hair get too long a contact time with the medicated shampoo that's being rinsed. But don't scrub the lengths of your hair, please. If your hair needs more cleansing after that, then use a gentle shampoo after that right after washing our scalp and rinsing it, use a gentle shampoo on the lengths of the hair while still keeping the hair in those sections. Number 4, condition and detangle still in sections, right? Detangle the ends first with your fingers and then use a comb or a brush if you're using one. But if we wash our hair often because we have scalp conditions that require it, perhaps we can get away with minimal detangling to prevent breakage, right? Or perhaps we can redefine what detangled hair looks like on textured hair to preserve some of our length. Otherwise, if we detangle too aggressively every wash day, and wash day happens so often because we have a scalp condition, we'll have little to no hair left. Our hair will just be so dried out. Number 5, style gently and to the best of your abilities. Leave your hair alone until wash day. Here's the bottom line. Flakes are not one problem. Buildup is a film layer issue that needs a reset, like a clarifying or a chelating shampoo. Dandruff is scale and microbiome imbalance, and that needs antifungal control plus scale management. Seborrheic dermatitis, on the other hand, is scale plus inflammation, and it needs active treatments for the scales and for everything that's happening, plus an anti-inflammatory for the inflammation. The scalp is an ecosystem with a barrier and a microbiome, and our number one job is stability and balance, not harsh products or procedures that we cannot commit to. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.